What's going on, folks? It's KspadeTheProspect, back today to kind of run my mouth and do what I do. A lot of you guys have hit me up and said, Spade, we're waiting on your opinions on what's going on with the 2K League and all the drama surrounding it, the numerous screenshots that continue to come out, the personal DMs that's being leaked and everything else is going on. Like, how do you feel about it? And I said, I'm going to talk about it, but I need to be ready. Now, I feel like earlier in my YouTube career, I made some mistakes of rushing to the microphone, rushing to the camera when I was still a tad bit unstable emotionally. And I feel like I learned from those mistakes. I didn't want to do that anymore. And I first was compelled to talk about it after I didn't receive an email. And that was definitely the wrong time to talk about it. Obviously, I was a tad bit disappointed, as most people were. And I wanted to take some time to kind of settle down my thoughts, my emotions, and also do a little bit of research so I'll be more knowledgeable on the subject at hand. And also, as I waited, more and more information came out, and I think I'm more prepared to talk about it now that all the information has come out. Before I jump into it, I should probably do a little bit of background on myself, because somebody's going to watch this video and say, who is this guy? This guy don't know what he's talking about. First of all, what I say next might not change your opinion. You might still think I don't know what I'm talking about, but I can assure you that I do. I have built a YouTube channel on this mode, and yeah, the name has changed over the years from My Crew to Cruise, Pro-Am, whatever you want to call it. The fact of the matter is I built a YouTube channel on this mode, and even though various people take credit for it, it was not a louder voice in spearheading the movement to get this mode back in the game than mine. And it's a few guys that can testify to that. It's a few guys that was over in California in Novato at 2K Studios, the numerous times I was over there talking to developers and running 2K and LD and whoever else would listen to me. 2K would try to go live, they would live stream and they would talk my team, and I would have the mob come through. We would dominate the comment section with Bring Back Crew. And yeah, I can't take all the credit for it, but I can assure you I spearheaded that movement. I had a vision for this thing, not the 2K League, I'm not even gonna lie to you. But what they did the last 2 years with like Road to the Finals or Road to the All-Star Weekend or whatever it was called, I had that vision years ago. I may have had that vision before 2K actually had that vision. Now, I can't prove or disprove that because I don't know when they got their ideas. They're not sharing that type of information with me. But I know I had that idea a very long time ago. So let me go ahead and throw that out there before I start to talk. Now, sitting here today, man, there's two very vocal sides. Depending on which side you sit on. Right now, it seems to be two very vocal sides going into the debate about this thing. It's the side that feels like this league is rigged. It's BS, it maintains no validity, and the whole thing is fake. It's a fake facade. On the other side of the spectrum, you got a group of also vocal guys, albeit a smaller group than this group over here, that feels like the league is 100% authentic. And if you didn't make it in, that is the fault of your own. You should have played better. You should support those that got in, and you should try harder next year. And now that I've had some time to think about it, I think both sides have some truths. And I think both sides are a tad bit delusional. My opinion probably won't mirror either of those to a T. I'll probably be somewhere in the middle. Let's get into it, man. I'm an older guy, and I feel like it's very important to start things a certain way. I give the same advice to my kids. I don't care if it's the first semester of school, or it's a school project, or it's a new relationship, or it's a job. The way you start it is imperative to the way it plays out throughout its process. And I feel like people underestimate that more than they should. Case in point, I'm married. People say, Spade, you older? You got a wife, you got kids, and you game a lot. How did your wife don't give you no problems with that? No, because when my wife was my girlfriend and she would call and say, what you doing? I say, hey, I'm on the game, I'm gonna call you back. And that played out to the point that now my wife will call and her first words to me will be, you on the game? If I say, yeah, all right, well, I'm just letting you know I'm off work. I'm stopping by the mall or whatever. I'll call you back, because she knows, because I set it up that way. To give you a more visual analogy, building a house, man. If you're gonna build a house, if you're gonna build a foundation of bullshit, I hope you don't expect to put a 2-story mansion on top of it, because it'll never support it. So the start of this league is very, very important. And I feel like it's imperative through the process. It's gonna affect the process, and it's gonna impact the ending of this thing. That right there might be an opportunity that I feel like the league lost out on. It's too late to do anything about it. You can learn from it, but at this point, some damage has already been done, and some of this damage is not repairable. It's just flat out not. So let's back up. They announced the league, and I'm ecstatic. I'm like, oh, snap. Now, I saw this thing probably being esports. I didn't see so far in the future to see a partnership with the actual NBA. This is legendary. This is huge. This is great. What you saw was an influx of interest into this mode, into this game, and I loved it. I actually saw people get pushback. It's some very popular comp Madden players that came over and started playing this mode, and folks was like, oh, now that it's a league, these guys want to come over and play. That's great. That's great. It don't matter what made them want to pick it up. The fact that they picked it up is a plus. I like that. Everything was going good. You had 17 NBA teams to sign on, and the league was born. The excitement was there, and I, for one, I wanted in. I didn't care. I'll be a commentator. I'll be the old guy that come in and talk about some fun facts. Whatever you need me to do. I'll be a player. I'll come sweep the virtual. I just lied. I'm not sweeping shit. But anyway, to stay on task, I was pretty hype about it. Most people were. They came out and said, okay, dude, what you got to do, the first step is 50 wins to get into the combine. And I said, that's way too lenient. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to water down the quality of this. If you look at any other professional anything, whether we're talking real sports or esports, you can look and go, wow, these are the best players in the world. They say it all the time. You look in the NBA, those are the best players in the world. That guy on the bench that don't play will come to your hood and give you buckets like you never believed. That guy on the end of the bench on the NFL team, on the 55-man roster, that dude is nice. He probably did it real grande at college. He did it real grande in high school to make it to that point. Whether it's Call of Duty, whether it's League of Legends, whatever, even if it's esports, it is the best of the best. And you want to maintain that here. You want to make sure it's authentic talent. You don't want some random drawing names out the hat to come up with the best. You don't want to do that. That's going to hurt the quality of the league. And I said this. I said it early. Not because I'm saying I should be there. I said it because that's what's true, right? So anyway, get past that. I don't remember the exact number, and I knew it at one point, but I think it was something like 17,000 people made it into the combine. It might have been more than that. It might have been 170,000. And look, for some odd reason, on the fly, I don't have any notes here in front of me, but for some odd reason, I can't even remember the exact number. But it was an insanely large number of people in the combine, and it spanned across 2 different consoles, which already opens a whole new bag of bells and whistles, because the way the game is played varies a tad bit from console to console. People don't like to admit that, but it does. All right, cool. You got these folks out here playing, you got this combine, and then you start to see the mistakes just keep coming and keep coming, keep coming. And I'm talking about from the perspective of the league. I said in an earlier video, anytime it's a first anything, it's gonna be mistakes, it's gonna be miscalculations. That's to be expected. You can have a kid, your first kid fall, you throwing yourself on the ground, you trying to catch that kid before he falls. By the time you got your second kid, when that kid falls, before he can tell you he's hurt, you're telling him he's not. You okay, get up, you okay, you don't even know. He could be over there jacked up, but you got that experience, and that experience leads to some type of confidence. And sometimes you'll convince your kid he okay. He might actually be hurt, but he's looking at you like, wow, this guy's so sure I'm okay, maybe I am okay. I knew that confidence wasn't going to be there, but I didn't expect some of these mistakes to be so egregious, and I didn't expect them to just keep coming, keep coming. For starters, they came out and said it's going to be 17 teams, 5 players. I said, this is crazy. What if somebody get hurt? What if somebody get sick? Like, shout out to, I said this last time, but the example I used was Dev Gauss, who was in a car accident. What if one of these guys in a car accident? What if they got a loved one that's in a car accident? What if a loved one falls ill? What if a loved one, God forbid, passes away and they have to miss time? What are you going to do? You going to play with a bot? I think it needs to be 5 players and 2 reserves. Well, they kind of met me in the middle. They came back and they made an exception. They changed it and said it's going to be 6 players per team. And I said, okay, I guess that'll work. Cool. Then they say, okay, here's the combine windows. And then they go, oh snap, we forgot all about it. We got people to play this game overseas. So they changed that. Then they say, okay, this is the time for you to get the application in. Then they said, oh snap, some folks couldn't get in. The website crashed. So we're going to change that too. And they just kept making exceptions. One of the biggest things that first started to make me scratch my head was the way they dealt with quitting. I gotta be honest, this one disappointed me the most. I had some terrible games out there. I had 3 6-point games out there, just terrible games. One of them, 6 points because I didn't get many attempts. One of them, 6 points because I just couldn't get my shot to fall. That's nobody's fault but my own. But I took it like a man. I took that L and I walked with it. And I realized that somebody had figured out that you could quit, you could dashboard and not get a loss. And the league was like, you know what we're gonna do? Well, after you've got your 40 games needed to qualify, well after that, we're gonna suspend you for 1 day, and then you can get right back out there and keep playing. I said, I don't like this. This is terrible. This is terrible. This is sending a message that we welcome cheating. It's okay if you want to cheat and get in our league. We're okay with it. I didn't like that. That looks to me, like I said before, it looks like, okay, maybe some of these people that's been caught quitting. Maybe we want these guys. Maybe these guys are marketable. Maybe they got all this stuff we need and we want them here in the league. And I kept seeing more and more things that I did not like, more and more things that didn't add up, more and more things that I felt like watered down the league that you're going to want us to then take serious. All right. Next thing that bothered me was the inconsistencies in what mattered. You started out saying wins don't matter. All right. You can't really control the wins that much from one player perspective. It's a team game. Control what you can control. Great. Then it changed. Wins matter. Everything matters. Well, guy, I wish I knew that. I didn't know that. Now it's changed. Then they started off like, look, you need to clean up your live streams. We watching your live streams. You need to go back on your Twitter, because if you in your live streams and you cussing too much, you're probably not going to get in the league. Okay, cool. Then they came back and said, nothing matters but the combine. I don't care what you did last year. I don't care if you was the best player in the world last year. The only thing that matters is the combine. Great. We really didn't know. We didn't know, and it just felt like smoke and mirrors. As a person who was in the combine competing, it felt like smoke and mirrors. I'm going to tell you what was crazy, and I'm not going to name drop because I don't... Look, let me back up for a minute. Anytime anybody opposes anything the league did, it gets spun to look like you hating on the 250 that got in. In case somebody's going to take that angle with me, let me go ahead and say this has absolutely nothing to do with the 250 that got in. Congratulations to those guys and that one female. I hope you got. I hope all 250 of you get in. Realistically, you're not, but I'm saying I hope everybody get in. It's absolutely nothing to do with y'all, so remove yourselves from the situation. Don't come at me like, oh, he's just jealous, because I'm not. It's got nothing to do with that. You guys are cool with me. Y'all safe, all of you. I'll buy you all a drink, something cheap like a Faygo though. I'll buy all you a Faygo. We're good. All right, now let me get back to this. It felt like smoke and mirrors. What really got me was one person who was later sent an email and got the interview. I followed this person and he tweeted, there is absolutely no way you can tell me they're picking talent based off of this combine. They have to already know. He tweeted that, and then he got the email. So I guess today he'll probably try to tell me, oh no, I'm pretty sure it was based off of my combine. But you really had us like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was mad in hindsight that I didn't quit. I saw people quit and they got the email. So why the hell am I sitting on this 6-point game when I could have just quit? My last 2 combine games was 51 points each. My last 2 combine games, I put up 102 points. I ain't even get my audio clicked on. Let's talk about that. They came back and said, I didn't even know. I'm so weird, I didn't know. I just like, oh man, I didn't get the email, cool. Somebody said, yo, I went back and looked and my audio didn't even get clicked. Somebody else said, me too. I said, damn, let me go check mine. I went back and looked, mine didn't have a play. I said, damn, I didn't get mine played. Then after the fact, they came back with another switcheroo on you. I mean, they calling audibles like Willie Beeman over there. They came back with another switcheroo and said, you know what? We only looked at the applications of who we felt like was the top 1,000. Well, I mean, that would have been cool if we knew that off rip, but this is something that changed, something else that changed, and a lot changed, and it kept changing over and over and over. And at the end of it, this is what I'm willing to say. Do I feel like this entire league is fake and rigged? I think that's a bold claim to hurl without tangible evidence. I won't do that. Too many innocent people get crushed under my bulldozer if I say that. I'm not going to say that. But is it definitely some questionable stuff there? Absolutely. Is this the way you want to start this off? Do you feel like you built a solid foundation? Absolutely not. You didn't. I got to be honest, you didn't. So you got a situation where you got a lot of folks salty about not getting in. I'm actually not one. I'm disappointed, but I'm not salty. I told somebody was like, oh, Spade, you tried out? I didn't think you was going to try out. And I said, I wasn't at first. I felt like I'm probably not the guy they want. And then later, the opportunity was so great, I couldn't turn it down. The example I gave somebody was, when the Mega Millions hits 300-400 million, I go play. I don't play the lottery. I don't do the daily lottery. That's crazy to me. To each his own. I'm not hating on you if you do. But once it hits 300-400 million, even though I don't expect to win, the payoff would be so great that it don't make sense not to try. And that's the way I felt about this. And that's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because you don't want getting in this league to be anything like the lottery. It shouldn't have anything to do with lottery. It shouldn't be drawing a name out of a hat, but that's how it felt at times. I was like, I don't think I'm the best player in the world, but I don't know what they're looking for. I got no idea what they want to see. I think I'm marketable. I think I come with a bit of supporters. I got somewhat of a fan base. I think I already got somewhat of a relationship with some of these, you know what I'm saying? So maybe I got a good chance. I don't know. And at the end, I didn't know what to do, and not enough people knew what to do. And I think that's a black eye on the league. Can they bounce back from this? Absolutely. Next year, I expect things to be better. It has to be. Another year like this, and I think it's over. I think it's over. Because, I mean, already to me, I feel like you started the foundation off as weak as you could possibly start it off. I'm going to tell you what I heard to let me know things was a little shaky. I heard a scout, manager, team, operator, whatever you want to call them, there's various names for them. I heard them say, I don't look at any YouTube live streams. I don't look at any Mixer live streams. I will only scout talent on Twitch. And I said, imagine being a scout for like an NFL team. Imagine being a scout for the Patriots. Like, I don't look at any players from the West Coast. If I got to get on the plane, I'm not scouting them. You better be nice over here in my time zone. That's just dumb to me. As a scout, you go wherever the talent is. You go everywhere. You scour the corners of the edge of the earth. You go wherever you got to go. That's your job. All you have doing your job to me. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I don't know about this thing. You know, so at the end of the day, man, I wish the league success. I'm not turning my back on the league. I just think they made some egregious errors. And one last thing, and then I get out of here because I'm starting to feel like I'm rambling. It was a big debate as to whether or not managers was handpicking people for the pool. And the league is adamantly telling you managers had nothing to do with who got in the pool. And then they shared a screenshot that contradicted what they're saying. The screenshot that they shared, Anthony Morocco said, this guy, if anybody, should be in. Now, that's not to say that he had the power to twist his arm, but if nothing else, he had the power of influence. If nothing else, he had the power of persuasion. He said, look, this guy definitely needs to be in. He was top 3 something last year. He won $250,000. He played for this team, and he basically read off all of the stuff that they told us didn't matter. They told us it was only about the combine, and he proceeded to tell them all his accomplishments that had not a damn thing to do with the combine. And yeah, they're gonna tell me, oh, he was in anyway. It was a technicality. But if he wasn't in, it definitely seems like that text, the DM, or whatever the hell it was definitely intended to influence to get him in if he wasn't in. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this. You guys are gonna make some mistakes, and for me, I can't speak for everybody. For me, if you make some mistakes, the best way to do it is, you know what? Hey, we made some mistakes along the way. We goofed that up. But once you start trying to play with my intelligence, once you start trying to tell me I'm not smart enough to see what I know I see, now we got a problem. Now you're pissing me off. Now you're telling me I'm not smart enough to see what I see, and I don't like that. I don't like that. So in closing, I hope the league learned from the mistakes they made, and it was a lot. It was a lot of mistakes. You guys still got something. This is still the most fun mode on this disc. The interest in this mode is still peaking, and I say peaking because I don't think it's hit its ceiling yet. And it's more and more people just waiting to try out this new mode. And I mean, people tweet me all the time looking for teams. This is a great thing. Don't goof this up, y'all. Don't go half-ass on the foundation. Don't use little red bricks. Go get some cinder blocks and do it right. Build this thing right so that it can have a long life and that many people can benefit from it, even if I'm not one of them. So I guess that's all I got, man. I have talked long enough. I'm gonna get up out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, bang the like. If you really enjoyed it, share it with a friend. Share it on social. Take it somewhere. Water cooler talk. Take it to school. I'm out the next time, folks.